Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Well, what have we here?
It's a podcast.
Fine.
And what excitement we have today.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara and Rob Spiewak. And now, here's Rob.
First of all, I don't want to be slammed for false advertising because Mike is not here. He's taking a vacation. It's a staycation, Katie.
Oh, I might be taking a staycation in the fall.
Oh, where will you be? This is a stupid question. You'll just be at home.
Yes.
Since that's what they call a staycation.
And where are you going for your staycation?
Well, I reached out to all the publicity people at all the theme parks within driving distance, and you know what's amazing? 2 of them got back to me immediately.
Cheapest hotel I know.
It is. They love me. It's like, hey, Rob, come on down and then spend 20 minutes on your show talking about your turkey leg. But anyway, that's not why we're here. It's the Mike O'Mara Show, and Mike is on holiday this week, so I'm joined by one of my few remaining friends, and certainly a top ranking friend. On Ranker.com, she's currently at number 2. Katie Forbes von Herman. Hi, Katie. How are you?
Hi, Robbie. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
That's nice. You are lying a little bit because you did not want to do an 8 o'clock start.
Oh, no, I'm a Southern lady now. We don't do that.
I know.
and my coffee pot broke. So.
I really do think when I said 8 o'clock start, you sent me like an emoji like, you're kidding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the straight
Yeah.
face across.
I said,
emoji.
No, we will be needing 8 o'clock. And you know what? You beat me here. So God bless you.
I did.
I imagine like a college student, you probably were scared you'd miss it, so you just stayed up all night.
I don't do
You
that.
were said 1 a.m. You were seated at your office.
Took a handful of pills and went to bed at 8:30.
No, you were there going back and forth on whether or not to mirror your screen. And
Yeah.
you were so concerned about it.
Well, because the last one, it's flipped backwards to me.
Yeah.
And I would reach my hand and I would be like, that's not the right arm. And
We did
so
what
confused.
all good radio people do. We deferred to our producer who said, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
And that was the greatest thing. That was the biggest smile you got all day.
I didn't realize it was a mental issue for you. Because
Everything's a mental issue with her.
Yeah. Josh, you don't know me that well.
it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to the listener, the viewer, to Rob. But if
Well,
you
it
need to
certainly
flip your
doesn't
screen,
matter
flip
to
your
the
screen.
listener.
It matters
Because
to this girl.
Can't see you. Are we streaming on YouTube today?
We are.
Okay. Well, Eric, yes, we are on YouTube. So there you are. Eric Ford. Good guy, but perhaps not a great computer operator. You say you broke your coffee pot? What, did you throw it or what happened?
No, so I had an old school.
What kind do you have? Yeah.
Well, right now, none.
That
but I
really
had
is old school.
an
It's
old
like
school
Little House on the Prairie.
percolator.
Yeah.
And the little percolator, I went to make coffee at night.
Seriously,
as one
like a
does.
Donna Reed percolator with the glass bulb on top that goes bloop, 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 bloop.
Yeah.
That's old even for me.
Well.
At least I have a Keurig. I mean, I'm of the last
Oh.
30 years.
But the Keurig is a lot of extra waste.
Yeah, and I'm not a coffee guy, so the Keurig that's sort
Oh.
of Carrie's thing.
If you're not, if it weren't that Dan and I both drink coffee, I might have something like that around, but no. That's just wasteful.
What about a Mr. Coffee?
Almost did.
Or what they refer to south of the border, Senor Coffee.
But the glass bulb part, I went to untake the cap of the bulb, just came off in my hand, and I was like, oh no.
I don't want to be needy, Josh. Can you bring up a picture of a percolator? Because some of our viewers
I can send you a picture of the broken. It was shocking.
Well, I mean, do they build them anymore?
Yes, it's only a year old.
Well, I mean,
Maybe that's the problem.
It's a year old to you, but I mean, was it did it say victory in Europe on it or anything like that? No. With its gleaming chrome and its beautiful.
It's only 14 ration tickets.
It was
even
either
know what
that
that
or
means.
1 gallon of gas. You're playing to the room is what you're doing. It's great.
So I went 4 days without any morning coffee,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll get to that. I had some friends come in, and
I was going to ask about that.
one of my friends goes, I have like 7 different ways to make coffee at my house, blah, 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 blah. And then I went, my God, I have a French press. But I haven't had any
And-
coffee to remember such thing. I
But
mean, seriously,
with the-
it's right here. This is my red friend. I needed coffee this morning.
Am I stroking out or did I just see a subliminal percolator?
I clicked on the percolator at the same time she was reaching.
Okay, well,
for
let's
that.
see the percolator and let's see if
Oh.
it's
Oh.
if it's
Percolator.
valid. That's it.
That's a percolator. Yeah. Yep.
How does it? You know what? I've never used one. When I was growing up, we had. Well, talk about old.
Hold on, I'm gonna pour myself some coffee.
Yeah, I think it might help. Pour us all some coffee. It was a thing that you would put coffee in like a little vessel that nested in the pot, and then there
It's
was
like a basket.
yeah, and then you poured water through it. I mean, we'd boil water in a kettle and pour water through it. That's really ancient, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, that's very old.
That was
So,
down on the farm. We had no
Yeah.
microwave. We had no dishwasher.
there are percolators that you could actually sit onto the stove,
Okay.
and that's how they heat. But like the one that Josh just showed, it has a heating element in the bottom, so you just plug it
a
in.
heating elephant.
Element.
Elephant.
The one on top of a stove just sounds like a teapot to me.
Yeah, it would be like a kettle, right?
Now this is yours.
Yeah.
Now, that little glass bulb that looks like a champagne cork. Is that your
Jason
by the
Veazey-
way, is that your
Jason-
backsplash?
Yeah, hold on, we'll get there.
Lovely.
Jason Veazey saw this picture and said, "Shawty, I thought that was a crack pipe."
It is not. It is not a crack
It
pipe.
is not a crack pipe.
Lovely
But-
backsplash. So so you put coffee in a basket and then water in the pot, right?
Yes, and
And then it comes up through the loop thing. There's
yeah,
like
so there's like so the basket sits on top of essentially a metal
Shoddy.
a metal straw
Yes, a tube.
and a tube.
you
And
don't want to use it as a straw. It would be way too hot for your lips.
the water goes up through the tube into the little
Basket.
blue bowl on.
Yeah.
Well, no, into the tube goes through the basket sits on the tube.
Yes.
The water goes up through the tube, hits the top, and then comes back down through the basket.
So do you look at the glass nub, the crack pipe nub, and when it is the right color, that's when you know it's ready? Because you're seeing it bloop up?
No, it just stops going. Blah, 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 blah,
So
blah.
why do you need a glass tip on it then?
I don't know.
Just for show? You have the most dramatic coffee pot.
Not anymore.
Look at me. I'm
Oh
coffee.
no, Rob, the one that I ordered,
Oh,
way
God.
more dramatic because
What does it wear makeup? What does it do?
okay, so it's from Walmart. It's Beautiful by Drew, and Drew Barrymore, who gives me
Oh.
the ick, is far more dramatic than my poor percolator.
Are you going to make the best cup of coffee? I'm Drew Barrymore. This is not a French press.
Can we
This is
hold
not
hands?
a percolator.
Can we hold hands and braid each other's hair?
Oh God! So the French press, which are, by the way, that is a normal sized coffee cup.
It's not.
Katie is only 2 feet tall. She got her job posing for wedding cakes.
My coffee mug posed some challenges for some people on the Facebook
Yeah, well,
last
people.
time.
It's like Josh. People don't know he's 6'4". People don't know you're 2 feet tall.
Oh, and it's hard to tell with the camera distances and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, right, but I can hold this up and it looks the size of my head.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell on cameras.
Yeah.
We use the Defend,
See, it's a mouse. It's a normal sized mouse. I'm a normal sized guy.
but no, it is a larger coffee mug, but it's not that much larger. So
Yeah.
this is a regular, I think, pint
That's
size.
a regular
See,
shot glass.
This is a regular sort of pint glass.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there. Hold it closer to your head. When you hold it out, it looks massive.
It really, really does. It's like, you look like you're about to shoot a scene for like an underwater drama. Get into the tank.
Hey!
So the French press you used this morning, and that's for the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made perfect sense, and then but I didn't figure it out until Friday.
Yeah, you didn't figure out you had an appliance, as Alton would say. Alton Brown, I feel free calling him Alton, but as Alton would say, a unitasker. You own a unitasker for making coffee that you didn't know you could use.
Well, in my defense, it was in the top back cabinet.
Well, it might as well have been in
Might
like
have-
Hungary
Mars.
because
Mars.
you don't know about the top cabinet.
Can't see the top cabinet. Can't see Mars. I got nothing.
You know what? If I wasn't as tall as I was, I would lose so much storage because I use those top shelves.
Oh no, never.
I do.
My favorite thing is I'm gonna get up and go put the crock pot on, and then Dan.
Well, you see, I have to keep my crock pot low, which is almost as bad because, as you know, when I crossed the threshold of 50, I declared I don't like getting on the floor anymore. This happened when we were fruitcaking. And there's always messes and there's always spillage, and don't step on the cherries because the cherries are slippery and you can spill vegetable oil and all this stuff. And so when I would get down to clean it up, Mark Riddell, my dear departed friend, would always yell loud enough because this is a big bakery. I mean, this is like huge, bigger. I would say it was probably 2,000, 2,500 square feet of just bakery.
Oh.
And so I'd be down there picking up the dates or whatever. And
To reuse?
no, never.
Get them into the fruitcakes?
I was certified and
Added
very
crunch.
clean. But Mark would always yell, "Rob's on the floor." And it's not so much it is because your knees hurt. And then getting up is not like there's a lot of safety rails around a bakery. Like if I was in an old man's elevator with rails, I could probably get up just fine. But you don't know if you grab something on a bakery, it might move. Like, did you want to put all of your weight on a KitchenAid mixer? No, you don't want to do that. No. Anyway.
No.
I don't like to get on the floor. So that's bad. I don't do a lot of crock potting because that's a bottom shelf thing.
So it's the top shelf thing for us.
Yeah. I see. Also, another common thing that gets me down on the floor that I hate is I have a minuscule leak, I should say. And we'll provide a link to the leak. But the leak is in my water line to my refrigerator, to drink the water.
Oh, you need
Yeah.
to replace that.
Well, I talked to the Whirlpool people, and they said, yeah, that's a real expensive repair. And I said, how much
For
is
a
it?
tube?
Well, no, because they have to dismantle the entire connection to the wall and get into the fridge. The tube is cheap. The labor, she is expensive. And they
Can
said,
you not do it yourself? Oh no, I'm sorry, I forgot. You're not that kind of
Dude.
man.
Maybe TaskRabbit will be a little cheaper than Whirlpool.
maybe, but anyway, so we've been dealing with it
Yeah.
because it doesn't. We're on the cusp of getting a new fridge anyway, so we weren't going to invest in it. But what happens? This minuscule leak is about every month to 5 weeks. There's a puddle of ice under the freezer drawer, and if it gets too big, you can't open the freezer drawer. And when we figured this out, it was stuck. Like not even could use a broom handle to get it open, stuck. And because of that, we had to unplug it to let it thaw. But you know what's really, really thermal? The freezer of a refrigerator. So it's a bottom drawer. So because we couldn't open it, it took forever to melt.
So
Because
your
that's
the leak is inside the freezer.
yeah, the call is coming from inside the house.
Now, okay,
Well,
so I
yeah,
put it together when Josh did. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't
Pictured
understand.
a puddle outside of your fridge.
No,
every morning.
it's within the refrigerator and it drips down under because it's a bottom drawer freezer.
Yeah.
And so when we start to feel a little bit of drag on the
Kind of
on
a
the freezer,
drag.
yeah, exactly. I have a hammer that's just the right size and I get down on the floor. Rob's down. and then I
Not
have to go
3
in and
times.
clunk the ice and get it out. And this is fun for 2 reasons. Because not only am I on the floor, and instantly both dogs think I'm playing. Why is he on the floor? He's got to be
What?
ready to have fun.
But what game do you think you're
No, not that one.
Okay.
No. Thank you, though. But then the big sheets of ice come out. I'm talking like 8 by 10 inches hunks of ice are just sliding because you're pulling them out, and your hands are cold and it's miserable, and the dogs are licking the ice. But then when it's all said and done, you got to get up, and it ain't easy.
Is that bad for your floor?
What about me? What about my needs?
It all stays
Oh, because it's
the
inside the
It's
freezer.
inside.
Does it?
Yeah.
Does it melt on the floor at all?
Well, you pick it up. You use a dustpan. I've done this so many times. It's
So
like
it
down
only,
to a
it only
science.
gets on your floor when you drag it out and knock it
Right.
out.
And it shouldn't be there at all. That's
Well,
the thing.
Yeah.
Could you just declare that drawer dead?
Well, no, then we don't have a freezer
freezer?
upstairs. You need a
Well, I
freezer.
thought the whole freezer locks up. I
Yeah,
thought
the
it was
whole
just
it's a whole
inside.
drawer. It's because
Okay.
we have barn doors up top and then a drawer at the bottom. I keep doing this like that's going to somehow help explain that it's a drawer. It doesn't at all. But
I would probably just turn that water line off and start using the sink.
Yeah.
I love my cold water. I love my ice dispenser
So I grew up without
because that
cable
water makes
and
the
any
ice.
sort
Josh.
of.
Yeah.
I grew up without cable or any sort of like ice or water dispenser, and I
Have ice.
well,
You
like
mean
on,
the automatic sink?
Okay.
yeah,
flush?
on
Yes.
on the
door.
refrigerator.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Okay.
There was a sink to disperse water.
We had an ice box house, like an ice house.
What happened is in the wintertime, Josh, they'd go down to the lake and cut blocks of ice and then pack it in straw.
And we used the old sled.
Yeah,
to
the
bring it up
old
to the
sled.
house.
You learned it from your Uncle George Washington. But I'm sorry, no, you didn't have a door dispenser on your fridge.
No, so
Did you have a
Dan-
top freezer?
Yeah, starting
Yeah,
out, and then
yeah.
it was the
Side by side.
French doors, the side by side.
Again for the Olympics.
Exactly. So, actually, I think that's why I love the Olympics, is because I didn't have cable growing up. So every 4 years, wall to wall.
You are a complicated young lady.
So when Dan and I moved into his townhouse, we had
This
to
is
get into-
before the apartment that had the rats in the speaker.
Yeah,
Okay.
that apartment didn't have an ice dispenser.
Okay, very good.
It had rats in a speaker.
It had
didn't
rats in
have
a speaker,
ice-
which is different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
completely different.
So you moved to the townhouse in Fairfax.
And we the refrigerator pooped out on us. We had to get a new one. And I thought I still do. I think I am the absolute fanciest thing ever because we have a dispenser.
I still remember when I was little. That was like, oh
The
my God,
be-
these are rich
We-
people.
We have made it. We
Access to a
have
swimming pool.
Made it.
I knew a guy in McLean that had tennis court and a swimming pool on his property, but
What
he
kind of
had it.
Senator
But he had,
child?
no, I mean it was
Wow.
McLean. I mean,
Oh.
my grandfather was a farmer from literally farming land from the turn of the century, the old one, and then there was McLean, is where all the senators live because it's Washington D.C. adjacent. So it was very, very weird. But you go to these
Fancy.
big fancy houses because we all went to public school, and I went over to his house. It's like, you want to come over and swim or play tennis? Well, not tennis, but you want to swim? Yeah. and I said, oh, you mean you just push this and water comes out and it's cold? Because when I grew up, this is really a nod to my white trash upbringing. I'm sorry, Whiskey Tango
Thank you.
upbringing. My grandmother had an old milk jug, a half-gallon milk jug that she would rinse out and fill with water and keep it in the fridge so she could have cold water. That's
That's
I think that's
what
common.
you did. I think that's very
Yeah.
common.
I
really,
think a
but
lot of people did that.
in a
Yeah.
plastic jug, though.
Yes.
I mean, it was just
Yeah.
okay.
Yes,
Okay,
in
I
a
thought it
milk
was.
jug.
I thought I was.
That's also
Perhaps
where
unusual.
it's also where we made our iced tea and Kool-Aid.
Well, of course, yeah. But we also,
Why not? What makes one better than the other?
Well, I know, no, but I'm just thinking that
Flavor? No.
if you wanted cold water, could you not use ice cubes?
Yeah, but then it's a whole thing when you've got like 2 little trays.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know,
And
my
you can't
Uncle
have too
Dana.
many trays because it
No,
takes up freezer
you
space.
takes up way too much freezer space.
Well, we had a slot when you opened the freezer and you opened it, and it was a special little thing that you put the ice trays in. But you know who was a jerk was my Uncle Dana, because he would take out the tray of ice and pop out singular cubes and then put them back
you have
without refilling them.
No, you got to put it in the bowl.
I know, and the thing
and
that's in the
refill
door.
it.
Yeah, and refill it.
Yes.
No wonder he's dead.
Oh no, we didn't have one on the door. We literally had it was like a salad bowl.
Yeah, a Tupperware bowl.
Yeah.
Correct.
And it was-
You didn't have
No,
like
that-
an ice thing?
No, I think
no,
that,
it
again, I
took
think
us
that's
so
normal
much
also.
room. Yeah. Thank you, Josh. You and me,
I'm following.
man.
I understand. We just had a thing. It sat in the door. It didn't take
Fancy.
up too much room. Well,
So
yeah.
fancy.
You know what? I'm starting to think I was sort of I had
fancy boy.
advantages.
I'm pretty sure you did.
All
I
right.
mean,
What about, were they plastic ice trays that you went twist to get them out?
okay. We changed. Somewhere in my childhood, we went from metal with the
With the handle.
The
that was
lever.
the greatest.
and the ice cubes were literal square. Like
Yeah,
they were no. I mean, we're
exactly.
talking sharp edges.
Now,
Yeah.
when I was drinking, I bought specialty ice trays that would make specialty ice for drinks that were like big cubes or round like spheres.
Okay. Yeah.
but
yeah.
you know, that was much not really a comment on how
You have a
advantaged I was.
fancy. You have a fancy ice maker now, though, don't you?
No, it's just the built-in
Okay.
guy for the kids have fancy ice makers.
What does that
Robert
mean?
got an ice maker for his dorm room when he
Oh, you think he's gonna graduate?
Well, no, we're past that now. But I mean, think about it. I was saying, if I was
that's
in
right.
the dorm, if I was living in the dorm, like it was 1989 again, and I had my ability, I mean, it was backward then. We were cooking hot dogs and tea kettles and stuff like that. There was nothing that you could do. An ice maker would be worth its weight in gold to have, the ice. Be great.
Or
yeah.
just a dorm fridge and you chill your drinks.
Well, no, I have, but what if you're making cocktails? You want to
So
have
this
fresh
really
ice.
started. Okay.
I like ice. I do. I like ice. What's the problem with that? I don't like the ice in my fridge, and no, I've never reused the bottom water for ice as ice. I've never used it as that. I've always put it in the sink and gotten rid of it. But I love ice. Like cold
Okay.
drinks. Like, does your new fridge, your current fridge, does it have crushed ice?
Yes.
Crushed ice is the best. Just the best.
I mean, I don't. Yes, it keeps. I think it keeps things colder, but it does water down your drink much faster.
It's called tempering the drink, and that's okay.
Okay.
I'm not drinking anymore, but I still know all the words. That's
Do
all I'm saying.
you crunch the ice?
No, I hate that.
No. Okay, I hate that. I also cannot stand.
Carrie
it when-
was an ice cruncher. I had to break her of the habit.
I can't stand it when people swirl ice in a cup. Oh.
I was so excited. I thought
Can't
you were
do
about
it.
to do a magic trick.
Abracadabra.
All right, so now we've solved the problem of ice. You had visitors at your home.
Yes, I did.
Now let's go through how this works out.
So
Because we over the weekend we were planning today, and I got a most unexpected text from you.
I found okay. Last week was kind of crazy, and honestly, this year has been a bit much. And
I know. Have you heard about Joe Biden?
yes.
Crazy.
So Dan and I, Friday was just kind of nuts for both of us. So we were wrapping up the day, and I was like, you know what? Let's just go have a drink, go to our favorite wine bar, have a drink, come
Give
home.
them a plug. You have a favorite everything.
Sober Mesa
What does that mean, Mesa? Flat?
table.
Well, that also, you know what? Tables are usually flat. I have credit.
Yeah, I mean, you're fine.
Thank you.
So we
Does
go
it
there.
mean table?
Yeah.
No. But it's flat. Ah.
So we go, and we're having a glass of wine, and I'm thinking, okay, I want to make chicken for. I got the whole thing planned out, and then we're having.
What kind of wine do you and Dan take? Do you take the same wine?
Do we like the same wine, or do we take the same?
Well,
wine?
let's say that you're at Sober Mesa, which means flat, and you order a glass of wine. You're not ordering a bottle, right?
No.
Okay, so you each get a glass. What do you get? What does he get?
So they have a really good selection of house wines that are cheaper, as most house wines are, but their selection is super. Normally, I would probably snub my nose a little bit at a house wine.
This is a really long answer to what was an easy question. What
It's
wine
not
did
an
you
easy
order?
question.
It is. I'm talking about that night. What did you order?
Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay, that means Sauvignon White. And what did he get?
To keep it easy, he just drinks what I drink, but he prefers Chardonnay.
I had him pegged for a red wine guy.
He can't drink red wine. He
Why
has
not?
ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease.
I
and-
have all that. I was, man up, Dan. Drink it. Enjoy the tannins.
Okay, so he doesn't do liquor either. So.
Well, not anymore.
But a dry
I
white
think-
wine has less sugars, so it's not as harsh on his stomach.
Does he not drink liquor because of the way we got him that drunk that night?
No. He just doesn't normally. That was part of the reason why he got that drunk that night.
Yeah, well, we bought...
Because he doesn't really drink liquor. But the Crown, I don't remember what
it was
you two
Crown
were
Rye.
drinking.
It had broken. It had been released in Crown Royal Rye. It was very anticipated. Had good write-ups in all the journals, and it was released in Savannah before it was in Northern Virginia. So, as a host gift, I bought them a bottle of this. I thought it was nice, and I brought a bottle for myself to enjoy while I was there. And I remember it clearly because we were working the kids like Spartans that whole weekend, making the kids do things because Robert and Julia were still of the age that they could be told what to do. And I said, no.
And they didn't. They clearly didn't drink.
No, they didn't. It's too bad they couldn't drive. Then we would have been, we'd still be there. I said to Robert, I said, now listen, Mr. Dan needs a refill. Here's what you do.
That was Julia.
It was Julia? Okay.
I remember I wasn't drinking the brown liquor.
Okay, so I said, go and fill his cup with ice. There's that word again. And then put just enough of that Crown Royal Rye in to make the ice cubes wet. That's all, just a little bit. Well, kids don't follow directions exactly. And it was full. I mean, it was like a coffee cup full.
She carried it with two hands so it wouldn't spill.
And he finished it. And at one point, I asked him a question so do you want to order pizza tonight? It was something as really just as innocuous as that. And he looked at me and he said,
It's not cute. It's not cute.
I kind of made a yikes face, like, yee. Well, I don't think he had dinner then. Anyway, so he's drinking the white and you're drinking the white and you're at the wine bar and it's a crazy week.
And we are discussing how we don't actually have to do anything for the weekend.
That's the best feeling.
No place we have to be.
Right.
So I'm like, let's make a grocery list.
Oh my
Yes!
God.
And I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Do you
we're
write it
gonna
on paper?
Yeah, I carry
Wow.
a Moleskine.
A what?
A Moleskine, like the little notebooks.
A notebook.
A little
Yeah.
notebook. Yeah, I carry. So I'm making my list,
Okay.
and I get a text. Dan and I both get a text, and it says, "Remind me of your address."
Oh no.
And I was like, and this is one of my best friends from Ohio.
Okay.
And I'm like, my address? Do they want to send me what? So
Immediately
I
you go to, they're going to send you a gift.
yeah, I'm not a gift even. I'm like,
Get ready,
well,
Dan. We've got a
I'm-
weekend that's free and a pound cake's coming.
I'm thinking graduation announcement. Mallory just graduated. I don't know where my
All
head
right.
was. So
Okay.
whatever. And then I get the text. Okay, we'll be there around noon.
What
That's
time
not
is it
good.
now? This is the
It's
day before?
Yeah, it's probably 8:45.
Okay. So you have a little bit of notice. About 12 hours.
Little bit, yeah. But I've also had like glasses of wine at this
Oh,
point.
I didn't realize, because what you said is we were going to get a glass of wine.
Yeah, no, it never works out that way.
Okay. I
And-
understand.
Well, we decided to split some appetizers. So
Wine bar appetizers, were they
Wi-
dainty?
no, I mean not dainty, but we had some bacon wrapped dates.
Love it. Love
Were
it.
delicious, and they did really good charcuterie.
Uh-huh.
So, anyways, we
That's
had
French because of the Olympics.
So I believe I was drinking. At one point, I decided to try the Sancerre, also French.
What is it?
Sancerre,
Is that a notebook?
Sance.
Is it another kind of wine?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to dance with the girl you came with. You can't switch wines halfway through.
I can if I want to taste it.
All right.
And this is why you don't understand the text. Because you're a few glasses in.
No,
Yeah,
the
that's
reason
true. Yeah.
the reason I don't understand is because we had the conversation after my dad's memorial, like that night,
Oh, okay.
Oh, and there was no follow-up.
and well.
So what
there's
was the
no follow-up,
conversation?
and let me tell you, that was a night where I had some drinks.
Yeah, I bet. So when you begin to reconstruct it in your head, when do you realize what's going on?
When Dan tells me.
Oh, because Dan remembers.
Yeah, Dan remembers. I had a bit of an emotional day, and my whole
It's
family,
totally understood. Yeah.
Yeah. So on top of that, and then, I mean, I remember seeing them and talking to them, but there was the memorial, which was at the Elks Club, so drinks,
Yeah.
and then we relocated to the hotel bar.
Also drinks.
Also, I hadn't slept. I was.
Oh, you were
kind
a
of
disaster.
I was. I mean, I was going to say.
I don't
kind
mean
of
that in a
mess.
bad way. You're in a bad
yeah.
way.
But yes, I was a bit of a disaster that day.
Mm-hmm.
And Trent, that's my bestie.
Yeah.
He and his two girls were there, and they're 19 and 16. And they
35.
so they were there because they wanted to say hi and
Right.
give me hi. Like I love these girls.
Support.
And they were I don't know. I remember they were talking about how they had a family trip to Georgia, but it was like outside of Atlanta, so it didn't really
Not your neighborhood.
register.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know they were saying, "Can we go see Aunt Katie?" And I don't know what happened after that because my whole family showed up at the bar.
I know what happened after that. When
Dan
you
said, "Come on by."
when you get into a state where you are when you're mourning and you're seeing person after person after person after person, and they're mechanically telling you, to them it's very individualized. We're very sorry. We offer our condolences. After about 10 times, you have to sort of have a mechanical response because you're hearing the same thing over and over again. And I guess, you want to be agreeable because you're happy that they're sharing in your grief. And they probably said, we'd like to come by. And yep. And then Dan backed you up. And that's probably what happened.
But that's perfectly fine, though. They visit down here like twice a year. I am perfectly happy to host them. I had just not
Blocked it out.
remembered.
Yeah.
I had nothing. So I was like, oh. Yikes. But I was like, okay, well, you know what, Dan, if we like leave now, we can probably get things together. I'll sweep the floors.
Good plan.
So I switched from a grocery list to a what do we
A
have
to-do
to do?
list. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes.
But if you're having
Yeah.
company, you still need to have the grocery list.
We bought no food. I was like, forget that. If we decide that we need food, we will order Kroger pickup.
But I mean, my old DJ name. But what if, you got to have like stuff for toast or something in the morning if they get up, right? Otherwise, you're going to be perceived as not a great host.
They were getting here at noon.
Oh, okay. So they'd had breakfast.
Yeah. So I wasn't
What?
concerned. And when they got here, I said, "Does anyone need anything from the store?" Because there's a little grocery store right up the street from us, just a couple blocks down. I could run and
When
get
you
whatever
go to
they
the little
needed.
grocery store and you go in, does it look like a full-size grocery store?
No. Geez, where do we begin?
Oh my God, what is that? 80 gallons of milk? So you actually you kind of did a good bounce. You rebounded well, right?
I think so.
Yeah, but that's the unannounced guest. That's stress, crazy
I mean,
stress.
they weren't like unannounced, but I hadn't put it
Well,
together.
if you didn't know about it, it's unannounced.
It had only been 2 weeks
well,
since I'd
2
seen
weeks.
them.
But still, that's a lot of stress on you. Did you pull it off?
Yeah.
And were they there just one night
Yes.
and without a
I
percolator?
also didn't know, or I had no idea how long they were going to stay.
And you really can't ask that.
No.
So,
No.
what are your plans?
So they got here. Do we need to take a break?
We're good for a little bit.
So they got here about noon, and they wanted to go to the beach. And I was like, you know what? Perfectly fine. I hate the beach. I don't like sand. I don't like sun. And I certainly do not like cold salt water.
Salt Walter.
Water.
I remember Salt Walter. But you took me to Tybee. There's a good bar there. You could have gone to the bar.
We did. So
okay,
we went
good.
because they were hungry. So we
Yes.
went to North Beach Bar, and we took an Uber because there was some construction, and we didn't have a car that would fit all 6 of us.
Understood.
So I was just like, I don't want to deal with the traffic myself. We can catch up in the car.
Sure.
And so it just made sense.
Worked out.
So get there. We all have lunch. The kids decide that they're going to, and I use kids lightly. The youngest one is 14. So
You know what
they're
they
not
are?
like kids.
They're young youngsters.
The young gentlemen and young ladies
Yes.
decide they want to go to the beach. So Trent says, I'm going to go to the beach with them, get everything set up, and then, and I had packed up beach towels for them and
Nice.
sunscreen because they didn't have anything with them.
No.
So packed everything up. They go out to the beach. I said, I will be scooting over to the bar. And that is where you can find me. But it was so hot. It wasn't actually, it was 88, which
That's
isn't.
not that hot.
I know.
But and did they leave the next day?
Yeah. But
Good.
there was more. So we go to the beach. They do the beach. Then we come back. And Trent's like, I think the girls really would like to go shopping. And I said, okay.
That's awesome because where they come from, there are no stores.
Not like. There's not like.
Well, Savannah has a good shopping district.
We do. So
Yeah.
we went to Broughton Street, which it would be like the equivalent of like going to Georgetown.
A little smaller, but yeah.
Yeah, no, but I mean
Yeah.
to scale.
Quaint shops.
Yes, but I mean we have there's an H&M and an Urban Outfitters and
Don't be defensive.
Free People. I'm not. But there's stuff that the girls
That they want. Yeah.
Yeah, and Liam was totally down with it too. So we went downtown, had dinner, and then the kids went to go. We shared locations.
Nice.
I said, do not go anywhere other than Broughton Street.
Mm-hmm.
And so then Trent and Dan and I relocated to sort of a lounge bar next door. Well, it's a bar, but they have like nice leather couches, and it's just
Still a
comfortable.
bar, and this is still an alcoholic-centered story.
Well, it's Savannah.
I understand. I've been there, yeah. So did the kids get mugged or anything?
No,
That's good.
but we were able to sit comfortably and catch up
Good.
as the adults, and then they joined us, and we just had a really nice chat. Like we just had a really good conversation, and Mallory's going off to college, and
Dan turned to Liam and he said,
no, we actually didn't drink that much.
all right. Okay.
Yeah, we knew
Is
that
that
they were
a real life not drink that much or a Savannah not drink that much?
a real life not drink that much.
God bless you. God bless
We'd
you.
been at the beach all day.
Yeah.
There was a certain amount of dehydration going on.
Yeah.
So,
That explains your chocolatey like tan.
white chocolate.
All right, we'll come back. We're going to do the homepage, which will be fun. News and stories from the day, and I will read them.
I thought it was called the round table.
It's the round
It is.
table.
It's the round table.
Not even my show.
That's right.
This week's bonus show is filled with farm fresh, great tasting humor that's the cream of the crop.
You don't need papaya. You don't need mango. You don't need any of these shitty, foreign, nasty, exotic fruit.
You're showing bigotry against fruit.
Give a child a carrot. What would you like to have? Would you like to have an apple pie or a mango pie? I encourage everybody to eat any fruit they want.
What could go wrong?
Don't forget, your bonus show subscription now grants you exclusive access to the TMOS supporters page on Facebook. It's the place to share your love of the TMOS bonus show.
Cracker Barrel is a good place to eat. That guy's a jerk. Fruit. He's definitely, he's got his opinions about fruit. Where do you weigh in on mangoes, Katie?
They have urushiol, which can cause...
You bet they do.
It can cause, like a poison ivy type reaction, so I avoid mango.
See? Smart girl. We were just talking about you being dehydrated. Are you dehydrated today?
Yes, but I could use a boost.
Of course you could, because the heat of summer is here, and your favorite summer treat that could be giving you extraordinary hydration is just a grab away. It's Liquid IV, the best stuff in the world. It will keep you hydrated. It has more of the stuff you need at the time you need it. Refreshing summer flavors like popsicle firecracker, delicious. Rainbow sherbet, wonderful. They hit the spot when you need transformative, hydrating relief all summer long. You can indulge in hydration with electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients from the #1 powdered hydration brand in America, Liquid IV. The secret, Katie, is LIV Hydroscience. But you know this.
What's your favorite flavor?
Mine, it's still the grape. I love the grape.
Really? I
Yeah.
like the OG, the lemon limey.
Lemon lime that's Mike's go-to as well. But this formula is an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients to turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. Check out 5 delicious sugar-free flavors, all great. Raspberry melon, rainbow sherbet, white peach, delicious, green grape, yum, and lemon lime. And the return of fan favorite, Katie. Oh, I know you've been asking for it. It is where I lost my floss. What a jerk. The return of fan favorite, cotton candy. Of course, cotton candy.
I like the new rainbow sherbet.
It's good. Well, you know what? The best thing to do is you can get a variety pack and choose your own favorite, which is pretty cool. So anyway, I love them all dearly. Grab a variety pack. It's fun. Pour, tear, live more. Indulge in hydration this summer with Liquid IV and get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use TMOS at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code TMOS at liquidiv.com. The easiest thing to do is just hit the button on our website. News. What are we calling it now? The round table? I knew
Yes.
that.
For
I
now.
knew that. For now, I knew that. Do you have Olympic fever?
I love the Olympics.
Did you watch it yesterday?
Yes.
What did you see that was great?
Okay, so there were a couple things. Women's rugby,
Yes.
which is super fun. The men's all around team finals, and they have specialists.
What is that?
Yeah, I'm just
Gymnastics.
curious. Oh, gymnastics.
Oh.
Yeah, well,
Gymnastics.
yeah,
Okay.
it's huge. The USA added 8 more medals at the Olympics yesterday, but we didn't get any gold medals yesterday. We're still leading the overall medal count with 20 and 6th place in the gold medal count. Japan was first with 6 golds, then France, China, Australia, South Korea with 5, and the U.S. with 3. We got a silver and bronze in skateboarding. Yay!
So the skateboarding, I watched it yesterday morning.
Sure.
It's wild to me because
I want to tell you,
I believe it was
is
Japan.
wild.
Is it Japan or that had the gold and silver?
Yes, I believe you're right. Yes.
Okay, they look like children. They're 14. Okay, and then you have the men on they're grown ass men on the U.S. team. They're in their early 20s, and it's just mind blowing to see these teeny little children and then men who can clearly grow a full beard.
Yeah, I believe it was a joke that Seth Meyers had. He said the Chinese, some of their leading Olympians later in the ceremonies are just being born. So we're looking forward to having them. Also, we got a silver and a bronze in swimming, women's swimming, 2 bronze medals in men's swimming, a bronze in men's fencing. I didn't watch that, but we learned yesterday that Maddie Masiello thought she would be a good fencer if she had been trained in such a thing.
Oh, well,
Or tried.
Yes, or even ever picked up an EPE. That's what you call the sword.
how do you spell that?
EPEE. With an accent aigu, I think.
EPE?
EPEE.
EPEE.
EPEE. EPEE.
No, how do you say it?
I think it's a pay or a P. A pay. Let's go with a pay. It's French because of the Olympics.
Like toupee. Epee.
Don't get personal.
We'll come back to that.
Toupee almost sounds like it's Pig Latin.
Toupee, whatever.
Meanwhile, U.S. basketball, women's basketball crushed Japan by 26 points in their first game. So we're definitely hoping for gold in that one. They've now won women's basketball. The U.S. women's basketball team has won 56 games in a row, dating back to 1992 in Barcelona. So USA, USA, USA.
I watched that as well in the multi-view.
Women's basketball?
Yeah, I have the.
What is the multi-view?
So there's a multi-view.
I mean, is it like
screen? Like you're
is it
watching
like
But
the-
there's 4.
things at once.
So we don't have cable. We have YouTube TV. So live, it gives you the option. You can choose which 4 channels you want to watch for the Olympics only.
Yeah.
And then
Not
you
if
can
you're watching like
toggle-
music videos.
You can toggle between which screen you want, or of the 4 you want to hear the audio from.
Do you have to be careful on YouTube that you're watching the current Olympics and not like, one from many years ago?
No, it's YouTube TV live.
Yeah. Okay. Show off. I don't have
No.
that.
We don't have cable. You think I'm showing off?
I'm going to watch my YouTube TV with my ice maker.
I think YouTube TV is the same thing as cable nowadays.
It feels like it.
You have all
like,
the same channels.
Yes,
Do you have Turner Classic Movies?
probably.
You didn't say that definitively.
I don't watch TV, but it's Olympic time. Of course, I'm watching.
You don't watch Turner Classic Movies?
Are you talking about yourself? Or are you talking?
Again, most people don't.
Thank you.
It's sad. I like it a lot. This I picked because I know that Katie would appreciate this.
Did
Rolling
you start
Stone-
to call me Julia?
You bet I did. I caught it, though. That means that I still have a chance. Rolling Stone magazine called the Haktua Girl, quote, the Generation Z Dolly Parton.
What?
No.
No.
I know, but Katie likes the Dolly Parton.
I love her. She's a world treasure.
She is, not like this.
And there's talent.
Spit on that thing. You get me?
Lovely girl.
You're
Dolly
just
Parton.
gonna beat this
I thought-
into the ground, aren't you?
I thought we're tired of her as a country
Yes.
world.
I don't know. If she got on Turner Classic Movies, we might have something. But I like the fact that she's continuing to sort of trickle into the public consciousness. But
It's just you.
no, Rolling Stone magazine talked about her. That's a big deal,
What's
you know.
the-
They called her. They
on
said
what date?
1998. No, this is this week. Rolling Stone magazine just lost a lot of credibility in many people's eyes when they referred to the Haktua Girl as the Generation Z Dolly Parton, and the internet is horrified. Some responses say, "This is sick. This is how could they insult my beautiful Dolly?" Shocked and appalled, rolling in my grave, even though I'm still alive. And this is probably the best one. This generation's Dolly Parton is Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob, do you have
Yes.
the date of that? Do you have the date of that Rolling Stone article?
I don't.
Thank you, Josh.
July 11th.
Of this
Back
year?
when people cared.
Okay. I still care. This is a lovely young lady trying to make her way in modern show business.
You know
I
what?
don't know
In
how
all,
you...
excuse me. In all relative terms, I guess that is practically today for Rob.
Yeah, are you kidding? It's tomorrow. So, hey, buddy. Even with the passing of Richard Simmons, Pauly Shore is still trying to make his biopic of Richard Simmons. do you think this is? I think this is classless at this point.
Didn't Richard Simmons not want him to?
Precisely.
Okay.
So,
But
and by the way,
doesn't Hollywood do this to everyone that passes? As soon as
Yeah.
they pass, try to make a movie. So
Well,
I think
no,
so.
he started doing this.
But
like,
he started
last
doing this
year.
way before, enough for Richard Simmons to say no. Do you say biopic or biopic?
Biopic.
Yeah, I think the hip thing now is to say biopic.
Okay.
So anyway, so let's just call it a movie about Richard Simmons. He says the only problem is he needs funding, and he went through, this is weird, David Wolper, who is now part of
who that
Warner
is.
Brothers. He says, Paulie says, hey, buddy, $5 or $10 million should do it. That's his quote.
5 or 10.
Yeah.
Nothing in between.
Yeah, he says 5 or 10. Well, I think he would take 8. But as you know, Richard Simmons was found unresponsive in his Los Angeles home earlier this month, the day after his 76th birthday. I know, Paulie, you need the paycheck, but Paulie, let it go. Let it go, Paulie. I don't think you can do that, especially if the man alive said don't do it. Don't you think?
Yeah, that's it. Poor taste doesn't even begin to start how.
And
yuck.
you know, I don't hate Pauly Shore. He's sort of showbiz royalty. His mother was Mitzi Shore, and his father was Sammy Shore. Mitzi Shore ran the Comedy Store. What?
I was
What?
going to ask Josh, do you know who either of those people are?
I know the names. I don't know anything else.
Ha ha.
I know
Half
not.
credit.
No.
Mitzi Shore ran the Comedy Store in Hollywood, so she's a very big deal.
Okay.
And Sammy Shore was a stand-up comic of some import in the 60s and 70s. He did open for Elvis once.
So he was born thinking he was funny. That's what happened.
No, that's me. Generation Z are watching more foreign shows than older generations. Do you look at foreign TV when you're on your YouTube TV?
I mean, I have Netflix, and there's a couple shows that. So Lucifer, I believe, is one that it's. I think.
What is that,
That's like
comedy?
a BBC show, I think, right?
But I think it. But it's not. I can speak the Queen's English, Josh.
But I think you got to the point that the reason is Netflix. It
Yeah,
shows
Netflix
foreign
Yeah.
movies in my
stuff
face
over it.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a show. It's really, really good. But it is, I believe, in French. And then there's.
Do you have to do the subtitle? Oh, for the Olympics. Do you look at the subtitles, or what do you do?
A lot of them are overdubbed,
Ah, very good.
which is. It's a little weird to get used to at first.
Because the lips don't match. Yeah.
Yeah, because the lips don't match. But then there's. Did you take in the program The Gentleman?
No.
The show, not the movie.
No. What is The Gentleman?
Do you remember the movie?
I vaguely.
Okay, well, it's Guy Ritchie. Is the director and everything.
Oh,
Really
I did
cool.
watch that. It was great. It was so much fun.
The show.
Yeah, and the movie. They
Okay,
were all
yes.
great. Yeah.
So, do you remember? And you might not, because it would switch between languages.
Oh, I don't remember that. Maybe I watched a dubbed version. I don't know.
No. They would speak certain languages. Whenever they would
Oh, yeah,
switch
yeah,
between
yeah.
languages, they would automatically bring
For
up
the subtitles. On. Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I put on subtitles sometimes on shows because I don't hear so good.
Yeah.
So it's no
same
big deal.
thing. I think also the subtitle thing. I usually watch TV with the subtitles on.
Yeah. Because Dan is running his mouth constantly.
He's not the one in the house that runs their mouth.
I actually did a free trial subscription to BritBox.
Yeah, do you like it?
Well, I just wanted to watch one show. It was the miniseries about Cary Grant called Archie.
Of course. So I
It was
have a
great. I
subscription-
really liked it. It was
I have
really
a su-
substantial.
I have a subscription to PBS Masterpiece. So
They don't show Murder, She Wrote.
as soon as it's done, the Olympics, I will be starting the Magpie Murders.
What is that?
It's a British mystery. It has all kinds of British mystery shows, which I love.
I like mystery
I get my
shows,
cup
but-
of tea. I'm so excited.
Get your cuppa. Do the Magpie Murders? Do they involve actual magpies talking birds?
So I just started the first 15 minutes of it. What I gather, it's a show, is that there
That's good.
Yeah, there's an author, a mystery writer, and he's finishing a manuscript, and he's a super popular author, but he turns up dead. That's as far as I've gotten.
You know, Heckle and Jekyll were magpies.
And I think his
And-
yeah.
And the show on Netflix you're talking about, Katie, is Lupin.
Lupin! I was so
Because Lucifer takes place in L.A., so I don't think it's French.
And
Lupin,
Lucifer is
Lupin.
also the Antichrist.
Yeah, Lupin. That puts much more sense. And isn't it Idris Elba or who stars in
Oh,
it?
now listen. He is a good-looking guy.
Omar Sy?
Okay, never mind. I might have the
mean-
whole thing wrong, but Lupin is definitely the one that was
Katie,
in French.
I'm researching.
Yes, Lupin
Actually,
is French.
The show you're thinking of is called Friends. You got very close.
They're all so handsome.
Do you ever auction stuff? Do you do eBay? Do you do Facebook Marketplace? Anything like that?
No.
No. Carrie is always after me to do it because I got too much junk. But it's not
Not
always
you.
You're cute. Sometimes it's not a success. In Great Britain, not so great. A lady had a prize collection of 163 bedpans, and they did not sell at auction. Her name is Mary Jacobs. She is 77. She's been collecting bedpans. This makes it sadder. For 40 years. That means she started at age 37 collecting
One man's
bedpans.
trash.
She bought her first bedpan at the Salvation Army in 1984 and decided that she wanted to buy more because, quote, I wanted to collect something different, and it snowballed. She put them up for auction this month. Shockingly, no one bid on them, not even one, even though she insists they are clean, washed, and in fantastic condition. What?
Some people call it collecting. Some people call it hoarding.
This is true. But the good news is now she has a pot to pee in.
Well, and is there a difference between them? Like, can she look, oh, this is the one from 1970. Look, you can tell the difference between the 1980 version.
I don't
What
know if
about,
they're,
like,
I
the
think they're pretty
1800s?
standard. Yeah.
Right. Like, what would be the point? Normally when you're collecting things, they're different and not all the same thing. You don't collect one of the same thing over and over again.
This is why Josh didn't bid on them. He knows the secret. He says this is no good.
Well, and storing them.
Yeah. Well, you have to have a bedpan room.
Again,
I'm
hoarding.
I'm guessing she probably has some space because I'm guessing she's not married. I'm just guessing. And we close today with a story from Florida, which is we often like to do. A woman in Florida was arrested at a traffic stop when officers began to examine her car closely based on curious behavior. This is the quote here. Cops in Florida pulled a car over on Saturday and saw the driver wasn't wearing a seatbelt. This is against the law. So during the traffic stop, they noticed that the passenger was moving things around suspiciously. The lady is named Lauren Riley. She's 41. And they saw a bag that was labeled bag of drugs. It was written on it in magic marker. And they said, well, what could be in here? So they opened the bag that was labeled bag of drugs, and it contained crack cocaine, powdered cocaine, crystal meth, Xanax pills, and other drugs. Also a needle, a straw, metal spoon, and 4 glass pipes. So part of me wants me to be mad at her because she's a drug dealer, but the other part, I really admire her OCD.
So, look, if I learned anything from the Goonies, always separate the drugs.
That was your takeaway from that?
Yeah.
Okay. My takeaway from the Goonies is Anne Ramsey, guilty. Guilty of being hot. No? Throw him out from the train? Google it.
I know who she is.
You just hate
Come
me.
on! She's the old mom. Come on!
Owen!
Drink it!
The unsalted nuts make me choke. TMOS store. Katie lives there. As a matter of fact, she'll be behind the counter today. She'll be dealing with all of your purchases at TMOS store, and she wants you to buy a hat. Hats. By popular demand, we are really running out of these. So if you want one of these hats, you gotta jump in now, and they are beautiful. We have them in 4 different colors. Go to the internet if you want to know what colors, but I'll give you a hint. One of them is blue. Ooh, now you can figure it out. The ultimate accessory for fans who want to show off their support while staying cool. I'll reveal it. Red, white, blue, and black. A perfect match for everyone. Plus, tickets and merch for the Grand Reunion Las Vegas weekend. So if you're headed out to Vegas, you want to get your tickets, of course, the place to do it is MikeO'MaraShow.com and click on the store thing. Plus, we've got t-shirts that you haven't even seen yet. Looking good. We have the exclusive Bob Spiewak Water Carnival shirt, which my stepmother was actually wearing and walked in front of my father. And he said, "That's weird." Because Josh went ahead and made the Water Carnival t-shirt without telling my father, and it's advertising a business of his that he never had. But everyone agrees the color is awesome. Also, the TMOS commemorative coin, which I've seen pictures of online. It is so cool. You want to grab it before they run out. TMOS store available at MikeO'MaraShow.com. The source for all things TMOS, official, authentic, and awesome. So we do appreciate your support. Now, Katie, you were talking TikTok a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And your face.
Yeah. So, I have been logging time on the TikTok, and it has.
Did the TikTok have a video to lift your mic up?
Oh, is it syncing again?
It's syncing a little bit. There
Is
we
that
go.
better?
Much better. Thank you, TikTok.
Okay. So, I have been watching like Beauty Talk, I guess. So, to learn how to.
I'm surprised I haven't run into you online. I'm always there.
Let me move this down just a little bit.
That's
right there.
fine. Uh-huh.
Okay. So, it showed me how to draw my eyebrows better because they're blonde. So,
Oh, by the way, Josh, you'll be pleased to know mine are back.
I see they're coming back,
Thank
and
you.
hopefully you're not using that Sharpie to draw them in.
the Sharpie.
Yeah,
This
with
one's blue.
With her brothers, Harpo and Chico. So the eyebrows look great. You know what I'll say? I think the kids say this. They're on point. They're fire.
Well, I have a question for the audience
Mm-hmm.
because you are completely unqualified to answer.
I
and
really
Dan,
should probably just leave the room.
Probably.
Yeah.
Dan can't help me because his hair, he doesn't have any grays. So he doesn't.
Do you know why? Because he has been provided with a bride that gives him no stress whatsoever.
Right. Bless his heart. No. So I saw that you can use Just for Men beard on your eyebrows because my eyebrows are blonde. But
Right.
Yeah, that
I
makes
figure. I think, but
But you're going against the rules. What's it called?
beard?
No, Just for Men. And you're not a man.
Oh, right. No.
Oh, but it's 2024.
there are a
Can't say
few.
that anymore.
Am I going to be
There are a
canceled?
few. But beard and mustache, I don't have either of those.
I used the Just for Men once, and when I finished, it looked like I had just eaten a chocolate pie.
TikTok. Speaking of, it told me it showed me how to dermaplane with like a little special. Did nothing. I don't have facial hair. I just cut myself. It was awful. I got no. There were no results. None whatsoever.
I think the problem is that you are not skilled at it. Like if you were to go to Carla, who dermaplanes for a living,
Yeah.
you'd probably see some benefit. What did you use? A
Right.
cheese grater?
No, I bought a special little. It was pink. A little razor. It looks like a straight razor almost.
Oh no.
And the only thing I did was where I had so many jaw surgeries, I do have some scars on in front of my ears.
Bless
I
your
just,
heart.
I just cut the hell out of it. And I was like, you know what? I think we're done. And Dan, love him, hands me Neosporin and says, most of us figured this out when we were about 14.
Yeah, that's a no good. Don't do that.
Like threw it. I was like, nope, I don't think that one's for me. But I am wondering, is the Just for Men on my eyebrows, is that going to get me anywhere?
I think so. How
just
long
gotta
did you
be
leave it on?
Careful,
Yeah.
because the worst beard dyes are the ones where they end up dyeing the skin under the beard or around the beard, so then you can see it.
You got to
And
comb
you go,
it through.
I don't
yeah.
want to
Yeah.
Groucho Marx myself. That
No,
would be.
no, you don't want that. Although it would be great for your comedy career.
Just get a cigar.
As I recall, Just for Men can be a little tedious because you have to like brush it in.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about because I did it down here. But as you can see,
Yeah, I know. That's why I wasn't asking you. I was asking the audience.
Well, yeah, but I did it on my beard, and
Okay.
yeah. So just be careful. What color are you going to choose? There's any number of them.
There's more than one?
Of course. You
I'll
wanna
go
match-
light,
Sure.
obviously.
Yeah,
But I don't know. Light brown, is that an option?
I believe it is. Yeah,
Yeah, you
not
just have
taupe.
to
You're not
try to
buying a
match.
couch. Yeah, you want to try and match. But
Okay.
also, it won't.
Well, no, I don't want it to match. My hair is blonde.
Listen, I don't.
I
wanna,
want them a little darker.
I don't want to lose any friends here, but try to match the roots,
Okay, well, they're okay.
not the band.
It's not dark either. It's
Well, I know. I can see under your blonde hair. There's darker
Yeah.
hair. That's what you want to match.
a little. It's light brown. I could do
Yeah.
that.
Or red is nice, and not like red hair red, not like ginger red, but like actual fire truck red might be. Don't you think?
I dyed my hair a couple weeks ago
Really?
because I got a whole bunch of grays in here, and so I decided I was going to dye it gray. So
By
I bought the
yourself?
gray. No, the white. So I bought the gray hair.
Did the
dye.
gray hair start when you started working with us?
No, it's no. I've got 4 kids.
Okay, very good. Okay.
How many are you sure?
Well, 3 daughters and a stepson.
Right.
So 4. I've got 4
4.
kids, but one's old and out of the house, so it's always a juggle whether it's 3 or 4
Okay.
because one's grown. But anyway, I dyed my hair. I decided I was going to do just the top mohawk gray, and I did the instructions, followed it properly, and my entire hair came out light brown.
Yeah, I
rather than
think
it
you
was
have to
before.
sort
There was
of.
no gray.
I
To
think
do
you need
gray-
to bleach it, right?
Yeah. To do gray,
you
you have
have
to
to bleach it
bleach
first, apparently.
everything
I
and
did not.
then tone it to gray.
I did not. We'll see if I do
Robert,
that.
for a while, was babysitting for a hairdresser's daughter, and he wasn't getting paid. He did it in trade. This is when he was in high school. And
I remember this.
He made his hair silver. And
I
That's
remember
what I was
this.
going for.
it was extraordinarily expensive. God,
Yeah.
God, we didn't have to pay for it.
It's hard to do. That's why going like silver gray is really hard to do because most people will either skew red or just light brown.
Yeah.
It's really you have to completely strip out all of the color and then add it back in.
When I dyed
Yeah,
my hair, I
instead-
use. Go ahead, Josh. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, going gray got rid of all my grays.
It's true. You win.
Yeah.
And I tried to color my hair. I used a Sharpie. No,
No.
it was a thing of beauty. Look at it. I shaved today. It's very nice. It's like the people clicking on YouTube think they look at the Death Star. It's very exciting. When we come back, I have a dog question for Katie because we have dogs. We love our dogs. And we'll be back after this. Wine. You love it.
Mm-hmm.
You go to wine bars, you drink your wine, your Shiraz, your Merlots, all that stuff. What was that last wine you had?
A Sancerre.
Is that French?
Yes.
Okay. But do you know why? I'm sure that the best part of going to a wine bar is when they bring you the bill, right? Mm-hmm. You got to hate it. Because Americans pay about twice as much for the wine they drink as the rest of the world, which is crazy. Laws dating back to Prohibition ensure the right of wholesalers to make big margins. That's just stupid. That's outdated and it's greedy. So listen up. This podcast is sponsored by Naked Wines. It's a subscription service that seamlessly connects you to the finest independent winemakers on the planet, so you get a box of the market's best quality wine. By the way, it's not box wine. It's bottles in a box.
It's bottles in a box. Of
Yeah.
course.
I wanted to just to let you know we're not Rudy Martzking this. So yeah, it's the best quality wines for a fraction of the price you would normally pay in stores, and you can cancel at any time. So there's no, if you don't like it, you're gonna love it. But for some reason you don't like it, no big deal. So go to nakedwines.com/TMOS and enter voucher in the top right when you get to the website. You just click that enter voucher and then enter TMOS for both the code and the password. Listen to this. 6 bottles of wine for just $39.99 with shipping included. That's $100 off and less than $7 a bottle. Nakedwines.com/TMOS and use the code and password TMOS to grab 6 bottles for just $39. Nakedwines.com. facebook.com/TMOS, code and password TMOS for $100 off your first 6 bottles. Cheers. True story. My mom did the naked wines thing and served a glass of it to her sister Lynn, her best friend as well. And they can put a pretty good dent in a bottle. And when they were drinking it, Lynn asked what it was, and my mom explained what it was. And Lynn did not believe her. She said, "You did not get this wine for $7." She said, "No, really did." She says, "No, it's amazing." And she said, $7.
No joke. Before they were a sponsor of TMOS, I bought that as a gift for a friend. I did. I did 6 months. They had done me a lot.
Yeah,
and they had been
like
so kind.
It's
so
a great.
I
client.
just did. I signed them up for 6 months, and I just did, and it fantastic.
I know how you found it. Is you're always Googling the word naked.
That's me.
That's you all over. Okay, dating back to our cake and cookie days. We've always talked about your dogs, and
Yes.
I know that you had what?
So we had our friends came.
Yeah.
Presley and Betsy. I said
You
they
have 2 dogs now, right?
Yes,
Just
we
so
had
people
3.
know. Right.
But Presley and Betsy lost their mind because they love them, and
Okay.
so they lose their mind because they remember who they are and everything. And Mallory looks around and says, "Where's the other one?" And I was like, actually, he's right there. And I pointed to the box on the kitchen windowsill. And I was like, unfortunately, it's been a pretty bad year, and
There's
Judd
a
is
part
no
of
longer
you-
with us.
But there's a part of you that loved saying he's over there.
I know.
I know. Bless his heart, Judd boy. So
Best boy.
I've got a question. At one time you had 3 dogs at once, and Josh, I know you have your dog,
I do.
and I've got my 2 dogs. Are your dogs toy dogs? Not like stuffed animals, but do they play with toys?
Every once in a while, Betsy will surprise us, and there's a little tiny rubber duck that she'll just throw around to herself. But honestly, no, they don't play with. They don't care.
Josh?
Yeah, my dog loves fetch, so we play a lot of ball.
Okay, a running dog.
And then
yeah.
if I get anything with a squeaker in it, she will play with that until the squeaker is dead.
Yeah, I think that's fairly common. My mom's dog, Lulu, when she gets bored, she will take out all of her toys and then put them all in her bed. She's not really a playful dog, but she's very organized. Linus, when we got Linus, and we called him Linus because he came with a blanket, and he would snuggle with his blanket, but he was never.
I didn't know that.
That's true. He was just little. But he would snuggle with, but he never was a toy-centric dog. I mean, he would occasionally like chew on something, but he was much as happy with a shoe as he was with a toy. And then we get Sebastian, and he comes in, and his life is toys. He won't go outside without a toy. He won't walk around without a toy. If he gets excited, he brings you a toy. I mean, he just loves toys. And to a point where, and by the way, Costco, you know I love you. Costco, je t'adore. That's French for the Olympics. But when you put a sign up that says, what?
Le Costco?
Le Costco. No, je t'adore is French. I love you.
I know that, but it's not. Okay.
You can't put up durable, indestructible, any of these words with dog toys.
Oh, I've bought them all.
He's
I
a
have
big
too.
boy.
Yeah. And I brought one home, and I can bring home a rotisserie chicken. I could bring home wings. I could bring home steaks. I could bring home anything that a dog would go crazy for. And Sebastian keeps his head between his paws like this, asleep. He has nothing to, but somehow he can smell or sense if I bring in a pack of dog toys.
I smell BPA.
Yeah,
I smell
and he's
BPA.
so he's like running in circles because he knows it's in there, and it's 2 owls. And they're indestructible, heavy-duty dog toys with squeakers. Squeaking is key, Josh. I agree with you. That, and I understand that the reason dogs like squeakers, and this is really dark, is because it sounds like dying prey.
Yes.
And they get into that. And so I give him 1 owl of the 2, put the other high so he can't get it, put it on top of the fridge where I keep all the things that mean a lot to me. And I hear, squeak. Well, I can tell you what I heard. Just over and over again in the other room. And then maybe 6 or 7 minutes later, it stops. I said, he's tired of the toy. Okay, good. He got a little bit of a mouth workout. 2 minutes after that, Robert comes home from work. He says, did you get Sebastian a new toy? I said, yeah. Why? He says, fluff all over the living room.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. And really, it's like 10 minutes and the squeaker is destroyed. It doesn't squeak anymore. It's a carcass. It really looks like, did you ever read the book Where the Red Fern Grows?
Oh, no, the bunny.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. There's an empty carcass of an owl. You know what? God bless you for picking up on a reference so obscure. But so now all around my house, I have fluff. I will eventually pick it up, but it's just fluff and fuzzy carcasses. So Costco, start making them hard. And the other thing is that Linus, now that we have the second dog, he will occasionally grab a toy, but only to be a dick. Only to make sure he has the toy and Sebastian doesn't. So
Jealousy is a whole other animal.
It truly, truly is.
But I can just very quickly.
Yeah.
So I grew up. We had a husky, and we got new neighbors at one point. And the way we met the neighbor was shortly after they moved in. The neighbor came and knocked on the door and was just she was beside herself.
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh, ma'am, I am so sorry, but I hate to tell you this. I think your dog got a rabbit over there in your front yard." And my mom's looking, and she's like, I'm sorry, I don't see what you mean. And she goes, over there, like right there in the front yard. And Mom goes, oh, no, that's just where we brush her.
Oh.
Because she's a husky.
Yeah. Was she talkative? Huskies talk.
Oh, yes. She's very bossy, and
Yeah.
she would tell us when to go to bed. And we would go to bed and stay there for a minute. She would go put herself in her crate, and then we would all reconvene in the living room.
That's too much effort. Legacybox. Don't you wish you had video of what was the name of that husky?
Sansi.
Don't you wish you had, that's French for the Olympics.
It was Sansaray.
Okay. Well, don't you wish you had video preserved of Sansi? And if you had it and you hadn't taken care of it, probably gone by now. Because video and magnetic media decays. Even CDs decay. It's just a matter of time. They last about 10 years, especially if you're storing all this stuff in hot, damp, moldy. They go away. All that old media breaks down, and if not preserved, they're lost forever. So what to do?
What to do?
How about Legacybox? Nice. Legacybox will preserve everything you've got, and not just videos. They do pictures. They do everything. I think it's like over 30 different media that they can digitize for you, which is amazing. What they will do, you call them, they will send you literally a legacy box. It's a box. You put your stuff in. It could be pictures or VCR tapes or Super 8 movies, anything. Load it with your stuff, send it back, and like magic, their team professionally digitizes everything right here in the good old USA. I love that. And they will send it back along with the originals. So you don't lose anything, but you have a digital backup. They either put it on a cloud. I got it on a thumb drive. It's so cool and so easy to pop a thumb drive into your computer and relive memories. So much great stuff with my kids who now are totally grown up, which is crazy. Anyway, don't let this summer heat age your videotapes, film reels, and fade your photos. Visit legacybox.com/TMOS to shop their $9 tape sale. That's legacybox.com/TMOS to unlock this incredible offer. You can see videos like of my daughter Julia.
Hello.
The flip side.
Katie, you schooled me. I had no idea where this word came from. Now, I've seen the movie a long time ago, but I'm not even going to tell you what word it is because it's fascinating. This is from a movie called La Dolce Vita, which means the sweet life. That's Italian, not for the Olympics. But check this out. This is fascinating, even though it's being told to me by a guy in a Kiss t-shirt. This is...
In 1960, director Federico Fellini released the movie La Dolce Vita, which is one of the most iconic Italian films of all time, but is also remembered today for a very different reason. The movie is about a journalist being played by a fellow named Marcello Mastroianni.
Now, I have to say this even though Mike is not here. When I'm looking at this host, this guy.
Who is looking for interesting and salacious stories around Rome. And he is not doing this alone. He is accompanied by a photographer, played by a fellow named Walter Santesso. That character's name, which is also the Italian slang for mosquito, is paparazzo, which is why we call the people who go around trying to take salacious pictures of celebrities the paparazzi.
I had no idea. It's named after a movie, right?
This guy,
The host?
Yes, his name is Cody Tucker, and this is what he does. And the way that he can intertwine, that's just an example of some of the knowledge, but the way that he can intertwine different artists and it's fascinating.
Is he your favorite Cody?
I don't. No.
What? Commit. Yes or no?
I was trying to think of people I know named Cody.
I can only think of Kathy Lee Gifford's son, who's probably now 60.
I have a friend named Cody, so I was like, do I?
How about
yes.
Buffalo Bill Cody?
It's problematic.
Last name? Oh, because of what he did.
Yeah.
Okay, well then strike that from the record.
Last name, Bill. First name, Buffalo.
Buffalo Bill. You did not have a great time at the beach. The kids enjoyed their time at the beach.
Yes.
You were talking about. At least you weren't at this Rhode Island beach this to me is as horrifying as it gets. They were dragonflies. And you know, a dragonfly is a big bug, almost bird-like. You can hear them coming. And so one dragonfly at the beach would be something to talk about. Check out this infestation that happened at the beach out of nowhere, still unexplained.
Remember that moth movie when the moth invaded? Dude, that's insane. This is
God.
This is from July 27th.
Dude, look at them all.
Look at them. The sky is almost dark.
Listen to them.
I know.
Nobody's running.
I think the kids ran.
I would get out.
I would too, but that's horrifying to me. Do you remember when there was a viral video where it looked like Oprah released bees to attack her audience? No. And I think it was actually the video from You Get a Car, You Get a Car, You Get a Car.
Oh.
But they overdubbed it, said You Get Bees, and they made bees fly into the audience. I don't know. But that's what it looks like. That's another obscure reference. No,
it looks like the birds, but with like
yes,
miniature,
precisely,
teeny tiny helicopters.
I don't think they bite. Do they? Dragonflies bite?
I think so.
Do they breathe fire? What's their deal?
Rawr. I don't know.
All right. I mentioned in the pre-show that I actually selected a tape today for Josh. This is one that I picked just for you. Did you see the footage of James McCann yesterday? Noted Oriole James McCann?
Oh, I did. I was watching it live.
Yeah, check this out. I have many standing fears. I've beaten my fear of wax museums, but every time I go to a baseball game, I'm afraid I'm going to hit, even in the stands, I'll get hit in the nose with a ball because I'm not athletic. And so I don't want that to happen. So I have to be.
Of all the noses.
Of all the balls. But anyway, look at this guy. What position does McCann play?
He's a catcher.
Okay. He caught one here.
Oh, no. Oh. Up and in, he got McCann in the helmet.
95-mile-an-hour pitch.
Oh.
James McCann.
Let's see that one more time.
Premium. Oh, no.
God.
Up and in, he got McCann in the helmet.
The amazing thing is that McCann returned to play after that.
Yeah, thankfully you cut it before he lifted his head because it was just blood pouring down his face onto the field. They did change his jersey and plug up his nose, and he went back out there and continued to play.
That's amazing. I know that you're very enthusiastic about the Orioles this year. Is he considered a great player? I don't know.
He's the backup catcher.
So he's not all that great.
He's fine.
He's fine.
They had a doubleheader yesterday, so they really needed two
catchers. They needed everybody.
He's the veteran presence out there. So very impressive.
It's very impressive that he got back in the game, and the Major League Baseball issued a statement. They said, this is the most disastrous ball to the face since Jim Neighbors passed. So that's very, very sad.
Rob.
Katie. I worked backwards from that joke today. I just wanted to get there. That's it. I'm glad he's okay. All right, Katie, you can go back to bed.
Okay.
Thank you. No, you're my favorite. Thank you so much, Deedle, for doing the show today. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Rob, for having me.
Anytime. Make sure you go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and get your tickets for the Las Vegas show. That's November 9th. Also, merch and all that stuff, all that information, even if you want to get hotel at a discounted rate, all that information is right there. So check it out. Join me tomorrow as Mike's staycation continues, as we are joined by noted, I would call him a heritage Baltimore jock, Justin Slagle will be joining us here tomorrow. And I'm very excited because though I've worked with him on stage, true, I've never done a radio show with him. So I'm looking forward to that. So make sure you check that out. We have a modified start time tomorrow. I think it's 12:30 because he's a morning DJ. So we had to work with that. So you will get your content. Just sit tight, and we do appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back tomorrow with a brand new one. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Josh. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, folks.
Toodaloo.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.